I was engaged to your daughter,
My daughter.
Maggie. Yeah,
You were Maggie's fiance?
yeah, was. Maggie passed away a couple of months ago from a car accident. This is the ring I got her. She told us a lot about you. Said you hadn't spoken years.
What about her mother?
She's gone too. Died a few years back from COVID. But you do have a granddaughter, and she's been asking more and more about you ever since her mom passed. So I figured I'll look for you. For her, you. Hoping that I'll help her feel better,
Where is she?
at school.
All right, all right. Welcome, Dominick Jones. What do you like to go by? Dominique or
Dominick.
Dominick?
Yeah,
Oh,
call me Dom.
but you pronounce it Dominick.
Yeah,
Not.
Dominick.
Oh, I kept saying Dominique.
Yeah,
And you're originally from where?
Oakland, California.
Oakland,
Yeah.
California. You know, I lived in California for 5 years, and I never went to Oakland.
Really?
Never
San
went.
Francisco?
Yeah, no.
Oh, dang.
Never went to any of them. Never went to the Bay. Never went to any of those areas.
So he's in Southern California the whole time?
Yeah. I lived in North Hollywood.
Ah, okay.
So, I'd go downtown. I'd go to, the LA areas. I did go to, what is it down south? Where Snoop's at? Long Beach.
Long Beach, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of family in Long Beach.
I did go to Long Beach. Okay, cool. So we met through Donnell Rawlings, my good friend Donnell. How did you guys meet?
Funny enough, I was working for an airline. It was 2017. Yeah, 2017. And it was Minneapolis Airport. And I'm walking up the ramp, and notorious white people in this airport. And so it's my black self, and I see another black guy coming down. So you know the rule: either head nod, say what's up, make sure the other black person's good. And as he starts getting closer, I'm like, I know this man. So he gets closer to me. I'm like, oh man, what's up? And I shake his hand, and then we start to, chopping it up, start talking. He's like, oh man, you're a black pilot, and I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, where you from? Oakland. I was like, I was in the Navy. He's like, oh man, I was in the Air Force, and we exchanged numbers, and from there we just kept running into each other at airports, and he would come out to Miami. When he came out to Miami, I took him up flying, took him up twice. So and from there, we just had a relationship.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. So you and Donnell went flying. But now, was the first time you guys went flying that first time I met you too when I was there with you guys? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
that was the very first time we went flying, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. No, that was pretty cool. Donnell was super stoked about it. That's why he wanted me. He's like, man, bring a team, guy. I really want to capture this. We didn't get a chance to go up with you guys, but I thought that was pretty cool. What have you done stuff like that before? Like just taking someone that you just want to take up and now is that because that's your plane or?
That's the flight school. So I've been flying with them for so long. They trust me to take their planes and to be responsible and do the right thing.
Okay.
So I can just right now say we want to go flying, we can go flying.
Nice. So take me back a little bit. What made you want to get into flying? I know I did see your TikTok video, which was pretty dope. Tell me about, is that related to why you got into aviation or?
Yeah, so JetBlue, it started in 2000. Yeah, 2000, that's when it started. And my mom, she was hired as the first gate agent. So since she was hired as the first gate agent, they flew her to New York, opened up the New York base, then they opened up Oakland and Long Beach, and she opened up all those bases. But um, throughout the time, they had a Bring Your Child to Work Day. So she brought me and my little brother to the airport, and of course, showing us her job. Then the ground ops people was below the plane. Then we went inside the cockpit, and ever since then, I was just punching and touching every little button I can. The pilots were chill, and that's what got me the bug from wanting to fly. But growing up in Oakland, California, the question is where you get the money from.
Mm-hmm,
You know, how
mm-hmm.
you get the funds to go to, flying, because growing up in the hood, only thing is sports. You're playing football, basketball, baseball. And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. That's all you're doing. And I was a baseball player, set records in Oakland, got a couple of scholarship offers, Grambling, University of Las Vegas, and North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a crazy story how I got signed with Grambling anyway, because we had a tournament in Las Vegas, and the team took me out, the Las Vegas team, and my dad didn't like that. He was like, no drinking.
Mm.
So he sent me to Louisiana, where I hated it.
But this was in college.
That was the end of my senior year.
Oh,
So we
you
had a
was
bit,
doing this since high school.
yeah.
Oh wow. Wow, wow.
So the end of my senior year, that's when we had the huge tournament, and that's when I signed on to Grambling to go to school to play baseball in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I went there, and city boy in the country, I didn't really like it. So
Yeah.
they were doing stuff about like going to go hang out in Walmart and just walking around for hours. And the only reason I went to Walmart is because my mom would say, "Go to Walmart," and I'll sit in the car and wait for her to be done. But that's what they did, and I just didn't like it. I stayed a year, and that's when I left.
Mm.
Yeah, I left to the Navy.
Okay. Oh, so you was in the Navy.
hmm
Why didn't you go to the Air Force?
Because my older brother was in the Navy, so I, see now, I was like, I want to learn how to fix the airplanes. I could have did that in the Air Force, but you see your older brother doing it, then you're just gonna follow that road.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined the Navy for 5 years.
But you still had, you was still around planes because I guess the planes do land on the ships and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, so I was an aircraft mechanic. So I worked on jets, helicopters. I worked on the F-15, F-18 fighter jets, the Harriers, the Marine helicopters. I did all that stuff. So
Oh, nice. So it still worked out. You
yeah,
still got to be around planes
yep.
and
So the whole thing, I was like, I want to go there to learn how to work on the planes. I want to learn how the planes work before I actually learn to go fly them.
mm,
But having mentors and having people around you asking questions, I could have stayed in college and went and flew the planes as soon as I got my degree.
mm.
And I wouldn't have to do 5 years in the military. I could have just finished up 3 more years of school, 2.5 more years of school, then could have went to officer school, and that's when I could have been flying jets after all the training.
Oh, I got you.
But because in the black community, we don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, especially back in 2006. I graduated high school in 2006, joined the military in 2008. We just didn't know anything. Social media wasn't the way that it is now. Mentorship wasn't the way that it is now. Communicating with colleges, everything is way different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I live in Oakland. I got some of the biggest universities in Berkeley and San Francisco. You got Cal Berkeley, then you got Stanford. I didn't even know where those were growing up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even in high school, I didn't even know Cal was right there in Berkeley, and I spent a lot of time at my grandma's house in Berkeley.
Was there anybody outside of your mom who worked for the airlines that had any relation, like any jobs or like you knew anyone that you looked up to that worked for the airlines or
Nah, it was
anything like
nobody.
that?
It was nobody at all.
Oh wow.
Yep,
So really your motivation for it literally came from through your mom working there.
100%.
Man, that's dope. And then you had the cool video showing how your first flight, I guess, was that your first flight ever or your first
To
flight to
Oakland.
Oakland?
Yep. First
Okay.
flight to Oakland. So it was pretty dope. My mom knew I was coming. So she was tracking my plane the whole time. Of course, I landed the plane in Oakland. And when I landed, we call the operations, like JetBlue operations at that airport. So I call on the radio. And the funny thing is, I said, JetBlue 168, just landed. What gate are we going to? And she's like, Dominic, we're going to get, you're going to this gate. And I'm like, what? I was like, that's my mom. The captain starts laughing. And I'm like, Mom, who taught you how to use the radio? And she was like, who taught you how to use the radio?
Yeah.
So,
That is dope.
yeah, so we taxied around. And once we got to the gate, she was on the tarmac holding a huge sign. Then the captain, he's laughing at me because we're both reading the sign. And my
Mhm.
mom runs up the jet bridge and she parks the jet bridge on the plane. And she opens up the door and she's crying already. She grabs the telephone from the flight attendant and she looks out at the passenger. She's like, "Hey, I just want you guys all to know that my son Dominic flew you guys all to come see me."
That's dope,
Yeah.
man. That's so dope. I'm gonna put the link to that video that you made at the bottom of this. I'll probably clip this side and put it so that people can watch it because it's. I watched it like 2, 3 times. I even showed it to my daughter. She's like, "This is so cool." Yeah, yeah, it's dope. It's dope. And your father is he?
Yeah, my dad was in the video too.
Yeah,
He was up there videotaping from the top, and
nice.
he retired from UPS, and he was a city bus driver. So
Okay, dope, dope, dope,
yeah,
dope.
so in Oakland, so we seen him my whole life, getting on the bus with him, go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty dope.
Okay. And then you said you was an athlete. You played baseball. You played football.
Just baseball,
Just baseball.
baseball, and I wrestled.
Okay, and you
Yeah.
wrestling. Nice, nice. Now, do you feel because me being a filmmaker, I played football and I played baseball too, and I played basketball and a couple of sports, tennis and all that stuff. But um, I feel like, especially football, it helped me in what I do now in filmmaking because my footwork, just the ability to just go long hours, my endurance and that kind of stuff. Did any of that help you, especially going into the military and also getting into aviation? Do you feel like anything that you did prior helped you in that?
Yeah, the discipline, and of course, we just finished spring training. So when I went to boot camp, I left Grambling and went to the Navy in 4 days.
Mm.
4 days. I contacted a recruiter. I packed my stuff. I flew back home the second day. The third day, I went and take the test, the score to get my job. The fourth day, I got shipped off, and I was in boot camp. But it helped me with the we just did spring training, so I was in full shape. Then also my discipline. So every time we worked out in boot camp, I was just laughing. I wasn't sweating. Everybody else was dying, and I was in full shape, just running laps around people.
Wow,
So
it's dope. And do you have any brothers, sisters, siblings, anything?
yeah, two older brothers, one younger brother. So the
Okay.
oldest, he was in the Navy. Then the one above me, he didn't join no military. Then the one below me joined the Marines.
Mm. Is he still there or they're all
No,
out?
they're all out.
They're all out.
Yep.
Okay. Um, okay, cool, cool. So, um, what do you do on your spare time? Like, what do you outside of aviation? Because I know that's like you mentioned when we were talking to Ozzy, like that's a hobby.
Yeah.
But do you find yourself getting into other things unrelated?
Yeah, so I first moved here in 2016, but of course I was teaching people how to fly. I was an instructor at the time. I
Mm,
still instruct now. But you're in South Florida, you gotta go outside. Started riding motorcycles, boats, jet skis. And now what I do on the side is I go to boat mechanic school.
mm-hmm.
So I started that in August. So what I do is I go Monday through Thursday in the morning, and I go to boat mechanic school. Then I work Thursday night through the weekend, and that's when I do my job at JetBlue.
Okay.
Yep. So I'm on reserve. Reserve is they'll call you if they need you,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if they don't need you, then you're just at home for, let's say, 10 hours on call. So that allows you to work out, to go do whatever you want to do, and still make it to work at a certain time if they call you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, stuff like that. Boat mechanic school, flying drones. I do a lot of volunteering. Yeah,
You own a drone?
yeah. I
Which
got,
drone do you have?
I got the Mavic 2, the Mavic Pro. I got the FPV, and I got the old Onyx I use for drone fishing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Somebody called me yesterday asking for an FPV pilot. If I knew you did, I would have recommended you.
let's do it.
Okay, cool, cool. So being in South Florida, what how has that been for you? Like, I know Oakland is California. I know it's beautiful too and all that kind of stuff, but
Yeah.
has being in South Florida showed you a different way of life? Like how are you enjoying it?
Well, South Florida, I love it because the water's warm. You go to California, you ain't gonna get in that water without a wetsuit unless it's extremely hot.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I live in San Diego as well, but I found it to be home here because it's a different life here. It's a different or a different type of people, and I know the California you can't get rid of the chill vibe and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
lingo and all the places that you can go there. But Florida has its own world over here.
Yeah, yeah.
So
How about the women? Because I could only imagine black women. I'm saying black women, but I'm sure all women. But I'm sure the black women find you to be a little different than most guys because we're not walking around and finding black pilots that often. How has that experience been for you?
the funniest thing is when I'm in the airport and I'm in my uniform, I make it a rule, not to like talk to anyone like that. A
Mm-hmm.
woman I see her because the first thing they see is a black pilot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like you don't see my personality, you don't see nothing. It's just
And I
damn.
can only imagine they make a fuss over every time they see you.
Yeah, especially the moms and the grandmas. There's so many times I walk to the airport, they're like, "Oh my God, you gotta meet my daughter. You gotta meet my granddaughter," and they'll pick up their phone
They
and
try to hook you up.
yeah, they'll FaceTime them right there, and I'm sitting there dying laughing, and they're like, "Grandma, what are you doing?" They got the bonnet on and they chilling, and I'm just like, "Ah, nah, I'm good." And they're like, "You sure?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good," because all they see is just a pilot. They see the money and some sort of status, but nah, it's different than that. So of course you can have that fun,
Mm-hmm.
but it's getting a part of a certain time in your life where you're just like, nah, I gotta stay away from that.
Yeah. That,
Cause
that means you're very disciplined about what you do.
yeah, cause you see the Miami life, everybody status, and you gotta have this and that, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm more the person that you ain't even gonna know I'm here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ain't even gonna know. You gonna be like, when did you get here? I've been sitting here chilling, listening to everything y'all said.
Yeah.
So that's me. That I'm just gonna be there.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. All right. So we're gonna get into this part of the show where it's called Story Me This, where we're basically I'm gonna ask you a series of questions about your experiences, life experiences, things that you've gone through, whatever it is. And if we were to put this together, it'd be like almost like a little life story, like a life movie.
Okay.
All right. So the first question, um, hold on, let me get to this. I don't know if you know anything about story structure or anything like that,
Nah,
or
not
storytelling.
my room.
But do you watch movies?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, we're about to turn your life into a movie right now.
Okay. I'm a movie connoisseur.
Nice. Nice. What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, I got a lot of Independence Day, Juice, Harlem Nights. I can go on forever because in the Navy, when we was out there before the internet world, everything, I was just downloading movies just to watch them.
Mm.
I would have a catalog of like maybe 800 movies just sitting there, and I would watch them, and I programmed myself to mentally forget it. So after I watch it, I would forget it so that when I watch it, I can watch it with new eyes, new joy, new laughter, so that I can keep on going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Dope. Did they have like theaters or movie nights and stuff like that in the military?
now when we was on the ship, we was
Okay.
out there
Okay.
and we was gone.
I'm
That's
saying like,
it.
but they didn't implement like, hey, let's all get together and watch movies together, that kind of stuff. There was nothing
No.
like that. Okay. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So this is Act One, the setup. If your life was a movie, um, out of your life experiences in different periods and times of your life, what would you say would be like the best start? Like you'd be like, man, if I was gonna make a movie about myself, I'd start when this happened. What was that thing that happened?
If my life was a movie, it would start in Cambodia because anything can change. Like the worst things in your life, there's always the sunshine that comes with it. Because when I was in Cambodia, it was me and my boy from the Navy. We weren't supposed to be in Cambodia in the first place. We were supposed to be in America. And to get the gist of it, we had to escape Cambodia in time in order to get out to get back to safety.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that right there is a movie alone. Like literally, we could write a movie script about escaping Cambodia. Have a whole maybe hour 30 minute long movie, and it would just be
Cambodia alone was that crazy.
yeah. It was the stuff that we did out there and how we had to get away, running from folks, protecting ourselves.
Hmm.
It was a movie, and that was the pinnacle to show me that if you're somewhere where you're not supposed to be, that can mess up your life. And that
Mm.
opened up my eyes to it.
So, in what ways did that moment change you? How did it like did life overall change for you, or was there something in you that changed that made you different after that experience?
Well, something inside me changed because it showed me that I can get myself in trouble. I can ruin everything that I did the past 3 years off of one day, off of 1 hour. It can be all be ruined. So that showed me that I'm in more control than what I thought I was in.
Mm-hmm.
So you can control, you can dictate your actions and how you do things and how you comprehend things, and that's what really made me understand that.
Mm. So walk me through, how was life prior to that moment?
Well,
That led up to that moment. What was your world? Where were you? What was going on in your life?
I was in Japan. I was based in the Navy, and we were in Sasebo, Japan. So being there 19 to 21, I say that's my grown up years where I did my growing up and got to see everything. And over there, you're just partying. We were going to work during the day, in the morning, afternoon we'll get off and we'll go party. So every country we would hit: Thailand, the Philippines, Malaysia, Cambodia, Indonesia, Australia. Everywhere we went, we would just partying nonstop.
This is all while you were in the
Yeah.
military. Mm-hmm.
So we would do our job, but we would still, after that we would go party. And that's before Instagram, Facebook, MySpace. So therefore, everything was just you go out there and do it. Nobody was filming it. Nobody was showing the world. You was just doing you. There's so many different military stories that I have that's just endless and shocking, and you'll just be like, "How the hell did this happen?" But it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's all real. But after that incident happened in Cambodia, that made me notice that I need to change and I need to, this isn't my future. This isn't what I intend on doing. I have a bigger goal for myself. And that what made me change my route on what did I want to do.
Mm. Okay. And during this time, who were the closest people in your life? Who was your in film, as you would say, your supporting cast? Like, who was the closest to you, and also maybe was there with you during these experiences?
I have my best friend, Alex and David. So Alex was another Navy guy. David was another Navy guy. Um, Alex left before David, but David was there the majority of the time I was in Japan, and we was just running wild out there.
Mm.
Our nights going out was just it was a movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was a movie every single time, and we had it down to a science where people was wanting to hang out with us, and we would tell them no because we had everything fast paced, and we know where we were going, we know what clubs we were doing, we know where we was going to go eat. We would start off maybe 9:30 and wouldn't end till 7 in the morning.
Damn.
And 7 in the morning, that's after being in 4 different clubs, meeting multiple women. And 7 in the morning, we're leaving, going to go eat yakiniku, which was Korean barbecue. And we'll eat that on the 20th floor of some high rise. And we were Japanese girls, and you're sitting on a little tatami mat with your shoes off, and the Japanese girls is making the yakiniku for you and feeding you. So that's how our mornings will go
Mm.
after partying all night. And that's how every weekend.
And tell me about your two guys in those experiences. How were they both like? Was everybody the same type of personality, or were they different from you? How were they?
Well, Alex and David, they were the same personality. So they were basically we were go getters, and we understood each other. We understood what was going to happen, what was going to go on, and it was nonstop. So even to this day, Alex comes out here. He's still in the Navy, so I can't disclose all his secrets. But David is out, and he does his things in Texas, and it's just wild and fun.
So they're all of you guys are basically just fun guys.
Yeah.
No, there's always like I'm probably that guy of my group of friends, like the more chill, laid back guy. All of you guys are the front guys that just go out and have a good time.
Yep. And we're the
Okay.
ones that, we're bringing the quiet guys out, and they'll just have the time of their lives, and it's just fun. It's just,
Hmm.
showing them the ropes. And that's what we did. It was just, Japan was a different story. I love it. If I can move there today and live there, I will leave.
Yeah, Japan is beautiful. I've been there once. It was incredible.
The train system is clean. If I can go there and make the same money right now, I will leave.
Mm, okay. So in your life, especially during these times, Has there ever been a, it can be a person, it could be a place, it could be a situation that basically was like a hurdle for you? Like you had all you know, you were in the military, or you ended up getting into aviation, all this stuff, but this thing has always been like this issue for you, or it's like the thing that you're fighting against in your life. Do you have anything like that, and what is it? And tell me the what it is, or who it is, or what's that struggle like?
So the biggest thing that that bothered me for the longest, coming in the Navy as a junior sailor, getting shipped off to Japan, and you're checking into your ship. And you're checking into your ship, you know, you should be welcomed by your higher ups, your chain of command, people coming there to get you. My chain of command, they're racist.
Hmm.
They're racist.
So there's more than one.
Yep. His name was Jack Tran and Johnny Childers, and I'll never forget their names or their faces. They would make me do extra work. Um, they told me that I wasn't smart enough to be a pilot
To your face.
to my face and in front of multiple people. They put that on my evals. They told me that I couldn't continue schoolwork until they feel that they can tell me I can do it, which was a privilege in the military that you can do it, is sign on a contract. They told me that I can't do that. They would never put me on any of the awards. They would wake me up out of my sleep. Say if there's 8 of us in this room and I'm doing an assignment, right? As soon as I finish, the other 7 people are sitting down. I finished the assignment I was just doing for 2 hours. Tran would make me do another one,
Hmm.
and the other people would volunteer to do it, and he would yell at them and say no, and still make me do it. So that's the type of guy he was.
So you had to deal with that all 5 years?
3 years on the ship.
Mm.
So 2.5, I dealt with it because he left like maybe my last half a year there. But they saw that the chain of command above them, they saw what was going on and they moved him out the shop. They put him in quality assurance. So basically, he checks over all the other shops' work and our work. But I had another guy, Ma1 Jones, Carlos Jones. And that's my boy to this day. He was enlisted. Now he's an officer. He's a big wig running stuff up there in Jacksonville. Like
Mm.
he's huge now. He's an '05. Um, and he was the one who was calling Tran out and Childers because he was the same rank. Because I can't say anything, but since Carlos was the same rank as Johnny and Jack, he was allowed to say stuff. He was allowed to tell them they're stupid to stop fucking with me. So that's what he was doing. But still, he has no impact because I don't work in his shop. He can only say stuff.
Mm-hmm,
It
mm-hmm.
can say how I feel and what I see and what he watches going on. And they were still 10 toes down with it. They kept their same energy, constantly pushing me down no matter what qualifications I would get, no matter if I'm better than everybody in my division. It just didn't matter to them.
And was there like a catalyst? Like did something happen when you first came in, you first met them, or it just right off bat they were just
I'm from Oakland, California. When I know racism.
mm-hmm.
I seen it happen to my dad, and I noticed I didn't know what he looked like, but I emailed him before I got to the ship. He's telling me, you know, what I can bring, what I can't bring. Perfectly fine. You know, it's not my domain. You tell me what to do. That's how the military works. I get to the ship and we're in Australia. Um, and before I get to that, in Australia, they flew us from Japan to Australia to meet the ship. And it was me, then Carlos Jones, who I was just telling you about, and there was another black guy that was trans supervisor. And we were all together in Australia, and we all went out. They took me to my first ever strip club, and we was having fun. But you know, there's first class, and he's a senior chief. That's it. But we checked onto the ship, and when I walked on there with was like maybe 10 other people, they all went their ways, and I'm just standing there waiting for somebody to come get me. And I remember seeing a short Asian guy, and he's just standing there looking at me, and that's it. And he just walks away. So I'm standing there for about 30 minutes, and they have this guy. His name is AS2 Gurley. black dude. He walks over and he's like, "Hey man, another black guy. What are you here just waiting here for? Who you work with?" I was like, "I'm AM. I'm supposed to be on AMID, AIMD." And he was like, "Oh, you gonna be an airframe?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, you working in trans office?" And he was like, "Did he come get you?" I was like, "Nobody came." Because remember, I didn't know what he looked like. I
Mm-hmm.
was like, "I'm just standing here." He's like, "All right, cool. Let me take you to put your bags down and let me help you get a bed and everything." So he helped me out, helped me get a bed. And he was like, "All right, man, you can go out on Liberty, come back tomorrow morning, and that's it." So I come back. I didn't even know where my shop was. I didn't know who my supervisors was. Nothing. So I'm walking around at 7 in the morning, just looking, lost,
Mm.
lost. 'Cause I couldn't find AS2, couldn't find him. And that very first day when I found him, Trans comes and he's yelling at me. And he's like, "Where have you been? I've been looking for you." And I'm like, "I saw you yesterday, but I don't know who you are. You didn't say a word to me." And he's like, "It doesn't matter." And that's when I knew something was wrong.
Mm.
He was like, "You're UA. We can't find you. I'm reporting you." And I'm still sitting there like, what did I do wrong? I was at where I was supposed to be at on the ship where it's called the quarter deck, where you walk on and you greet and you got to show your badge, you got to salute. That's where I was at, and that's where I was supposed to be. But you weren't there how you were supposed to be. So that's when I knew
Yeah.
shit was wrong.
You could recognize it
Yep.
right away.
And I knew it.
Damn.
Yeah, and there's nothing I could do about it.
Now, did that cause you? Because I know how sometimes when that happens, especially if you got to be around that person for a very long time, it kind of just it follows you everywhere you go. So did it have that monkey on your back type of feeling the whole
Yep.
time?
Every single time. Like I gotta watch what I do. I gotta watch what I say. I gotta make sure I was on his time.
Mm.
I was on his time no matter what. No matter what. People getting sailor today for stuff. This is when we really know it was crazy. My job was to work on jets and helicopters. I was so good at my job, like fixing shipboard stuff. I saved the ship in 3 months. It was $382,000 in depot level repair in
Mm.
3 months alone. No sailor today, no nothing at all. All because Tran and Childers stopped it.
Really?
Yep. Yep.
So no mention of your work,
Nothing.
no recognition of anything of any
No,
kind.
nothing. Put it like this, I got maybe 25 more qualifications than another sailor that worked in the shop next to me. His job was for engines. And if I call my best friend right now, he probably gonna bust out laughing. I'll be like, I'm talking about how somebody got capped over me. And capped is a meritorious advancement to the next rank. And he gonna know exactly who it is. He gonna bust out laughing and he be like, "Yep, they capped him over you, and he wasn't doing shit.
Mm.
He was on all the. Say if I was the leader of a team or a scene, he was on one of the host teams.
Mm-hmm.
Say if I was a fitness leader, he was just a regular person. The list goes on and on and on, and they capped him over me.
Damn.
Yep.
Now, like, how does something like that make you feel? Like, how did you deal with that?
Growing up in Oakland, it shows that you know, as us black folks, we can't get ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Even if we do right and above and beyond, it still don't matter because they still gonna give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we can't just sit there and be sad and just be boo-hooing. You just got to keep pushing and keep on being better than everybody else, like we're raised to. You just got to keep going,
Mm.
and that's it. So I got in the mindset. I love it that Lil Wayne said this in one of his rap songs. He was like, "They can't stop us, even if they stopped us."
Mm.
That's huge because a lot of people don't think about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They can't stop us, even if they stopped us,
Yeah.
because you ain't stopping me. I'm still gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah. 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 It almost sounds like what is making me imagine is like someone trying to like hold water in their hand and stop it from leaking, but you can't. Like it's gonna go through the cracks somehow. Something's gonna come out of it.
Hmm.
I guess that's how like soul food and certain inventions that black folks have created and just out of sheer just okay, I can't do that, but I'm gonna figure something else
Yep.
out. you know. Okay. I mean, sad that you went through that, but I'm sure it made you a better person.
100%.
All right, so here we're gonna start talking about insight and incident. Basic insight incident is like either through that moment, through that time, or even after that. Was there a time or an event that happened in your life that changed the course of your life, or changed the way that you were doing something, or you get what I'm saying? Hearing about it might be that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's 100% that, because
Okay.
that just showed me that I can be, like I said, being black, I can be better than everybody else, all the counterpartners, and they still trying to stop me. So I got to keep on going. I got to keep running on the ground.
And there was no like no one like even there no one like prepped you for that, like, hey, you're gonna get into the military, you may run into this.
No.
So it just hit you out of nowhere.
Yep. Because I wasn't expecting that when I got on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember, I went through boot camp. I was sharp. I was doing everything. I was standing out. It was hands down. Then you get to that just because of one thing. I'm sorry, but he saw the black man
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted complete control over me.
Wow. How much
So
older was he from of you?
I didn't know his age.
But he seemed older.
Yeah,
Okay.
Childers was older. He was way older. He was maybe 40s, 40 like 2, 43.
Okay. So that was definitely your inciting incident, because now what did that make you want now? Well, like what that going through that moment, realizing, oh, I'm going through some racism, I'm going through this is going to be difficult. He's causing me to do this. He's not giving me my recognition. You're going through all that. Um, what did that drive in you? What did that make you want out of life now, or in that moment, or you know what I mean? How did that change you?
Because at that time, like I said, me, Alex, and David, we was just partying like crazy. So that was our compensation from being at work in that field and getting to be completely away from all that. So I was, partying to not think about that and basically just exiting that out of my life. So that's why I said, I was on a bad trend in that Cambodia incident. I'm glad that that happened and it showed me, because even then I was thinking about bad things like John Childer's wife. She hit on me. I could have easily, at the moment of
Mm.
how I was doing things in life, I could have easily took her somewhere and we could have had fun, and he would have never known,
Mm-hmm.
because I was about that life. That's what I was doing every single day, and it could have happened like that.
Mm.
And I was just like, nah, that would be me scooping to his level just because of the way he's treated, and I'm like, nah, I can't do that.
Mm.
So and that's the type of mindset that I was on, because like they say, demon time. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it didn't matter. It didn't, especially the anger that I had towards him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Was there like um like a last moment interaction or something that made you want something different out of life? Like I know the Cambodia thing happened, but like after, like past that, or is that the moment that
when
made you?
when Johnny Childers told me that I won't make it outside the Navy,
Mm,
he told me that straight to my face and in front of people. I won't make it outside the Navy. I might as well stay in.
okay, so tell me about that moment. How did that happen? Where were you? Is this like during a lineup? Is this like what was? How did that day start and lead up to that?
So this is already after he told me I wasn't smart enough to be a pilot. I wasn't going to be able to take school, and this was later on. This was probably about a year and a half into it, and I told them my plans, because I was telling them I want to be a fighter jet pilot, but they didn't believe in me, of course. Laughed at me, told me I wasn't smart enough for it. Then once I seen it, I needed a degree, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get out the military, get my degree, and he was like, yeah, you're not gonna make it outside the military.
Mm. So now that made you want your degree even more now.
Yep. So when I got out, I moved to San Diego in 2012. In 2013, I got out and I went to flight school. So I was going to flight school for 2 years, and at that time, I gained 2 associates and 1 bachelor's degree while getting all my pilot ratings
Wow.
all at the same time.
So
So,
you've super exceeded like even probably what they even thought you could do.
yep. Then at that time, I gained my mentor, um, Carlos Jones. His chief, his superior was black. He calls me because he got my number from him. He's like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. He's a pilot, and I know, and this is why I was in flight training. He's a pilot, and he flies for the Navy, and I think you should give him a call." So I give him a call, and it's Victor Glover. Victor Glover is a astronaut. He's a naval pilot.
Mm.
He did the Marine Air Force pilot test pilot, and he flew up. I think it was the Falcon in 2022. Yeah, the first Falcon, and he flew it up into space, and now he's about to be a part of the other crew that's about to go up and fly around the dark side of the moon. So if you
Really?
look him up, black guy, Victor Glover, and
Oh,
he became my
damn.
mentor.
Now, is this part of like Elon Musk's whole thing that he's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So he's the only black guy that's up there, the pilot of
Damn.
it.
And that's your mentor.
Yep.
That's crazy, bro. So, I mean, like they say, sometimes things happen for a reason. It might be rough, it might be crazy, it might be tough, but what that he was never thinking, if I push this guy this much, he's gonna end up being great. He really was probably thinking, I'm gonna push this guy. He's not gonna be shit right now.
Yep. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? People don't realize that sometimes.
Yep.
And then you probably what you wanted was your degree, and look, you ended up getting multiple degrees and meeting, this astronaut, and yeah, I think that's great, man. I think that's great. So you got what you wanted, which was that, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all of this now, you got your degrees, you got a great mentor. Was there anything that came along with it that you didn't expect? That basically it's like a catch. Like, okay, I'm gonna do all of this, but now I got this other thing that you didn't expect that probably, I wouldn't say works against what you're trying to do, but just didn't help.
Yeah, that was me in San Diego because I wanted to live in San Diego. That was my ultimate goal. I was like, oh man, I need to move to San Diego once I'm done with Japan, and I need to get there. So when I got to San Diego, I was still doing a little bit of partying. So I was still going out. I was, my Japan mindset. So I was meeting all the club promoters and the owners, and I can just go into any on Pacific Beach in San Diego, go into any club and go straight to the VIP, get a bottle, and I'll be able to be chilling. And I was like, I can't go to flight school living this lifestyle.
Mm.
I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
DUI, gonna get in trouble. You can't focus. I was just wilding out there too. But that's when I say I needed to sacrifice. And that's when I moved to Prescott, Arizona.
Hmm.
I stuck out like a sore thumb. The white people there call it Prescott. Like that's how crazy it is there. So I moved there, and that's when I was there for 2 years, and that was my sacrifice. Where it was no partying. Phoenix was an hour and 30 minutes away. I was up in the mountains. Um, I was only making $12,000 a year.
Hmm.
$12,000
Wow.
a year, and I still had to pay rent, feed myself, gas, insurance, all of that. I dated a chick that worked at IHOP, so I can get like free food. So when I'm done flying, I'll go to IHOP, go with her, get some free food, and that was my sacrifice. So people was like, I tell a lot of people all the time, in order to get where you want to be at, you have to sacrifice something. And that was me sacrificing my time, my happiness, my money. That was that for 2 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
2 years
Mm-hmm.
straight. I wasn't begging nobody. I was out there hustling every single day. My associates, my bachelor's, flight training, then dealing with flight training as a black person, and I'm just being honest, a lot of Caucasian people can't teach black people. They don't know how to comprehend and speak to a lot of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it even more difficult for me because I recycled through 3 instructors before I even got my first license.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's some of the pressures that you had to deal with, even while things were going good. this was some of the underlining pressures and other things that you were dealing with.
Yep.
How hard did it make it for you though?
It made it extremely hard because I had to study even harder. I had to teach myself how to learn. I had to teach myself how to learn this aviation stuff.
Mm.
So no matter, like I said, no matter how good we are, better than everybody else, the flight school that I did my training at, they didn't even want to hire me.
Hmm.
They had no black instructors. They didn't even want to hire me.
So did this feel like, damn, I'm right back in this again after leaving the military, and now you're
I feel like I have more control now because I can leave. I can go where I want to go. I can just dip and leave whenever I want. I wasn't so encaged.
was that what was going through your mind as you were going through it?
Yeah, because if you don't got your license, you can't do anything. But once you do get your license, you're allowed to be a bird and roam free.
Mm.
So I called my mom. I was like, I'm gonna fly to Florida. She put me on a JetBlue pass. I flew to Florida. I interviewed with Wayman Aviation out here, and he offered me the job and said, Dominic, when can you start? And I started January 1st, 2016. I
Wow.
drove all my stuff from Arizona to Florida by myself.
So I was about to get into the midpoint of your story, which would be when you make a big decision. There's a big decision for you to make,
Hmm.
and it sounds like that was your big decision. You
Yeah.
decided to. Now, what made you decide to move to Florida? Like, what was it? Like, how did that come about?
So, like I said, I finished the flight training in Arizona. The flight school didn't want to hire me, so I was looking at different places to go to, and thinking, how does the airlines work? The airlines work with seniority and time, so you got to have all your hours. And of course, at that time, you needed a bachelor's degree, in which I just got as well. But I was looking, where can I get my hours at the quickest? Which place can do it for me? So I saw New York. They were paying at that time $45 an hour for a flight instructor. But the weather there sucks.
Hmm. Hmm.
Half the year I won't be flying because it's too cold and snow. And I'm a California boy. I don't like anything cold. And I looked at Florida. It was $28 an hour, but I'm flying year round. I'm flying from 6 in the morning to 10 at night if I want to. So I was like, you know what? Is it about the money right now? No, because I was only making 12 grand a year and I was surviving. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go where I can get to the airlines as quick as possible, and that's to Florida. So that's what brought me to Miami.
Mm. Now, when you got to Miami, how was that experience? Was it everything you looked forward to, or
Yeah,
how
because
was it?
the flight school, Wayman Aviation, Mr. Wayman, Rosa, Eddy, they all welcomed me with open arms, and they were showing me what I had to do at the flight school. It was up to me out in the city to do what I want to do, but I was there for one goal, and the goal was to get flight hours. So and ultimately that turned me into the top instructor in South Florida.
Mm.
So nobody can touch me even to this day,
Oh wow.
even with his ground lesson teaching or the flying. I'm that dude with it, and I hate talking about it, but it shows it for itself. The average person doesn't. How he said he soloed an airplane takes about 20 hours.
Hmm.
I do it in 7 for my students. 7 hours of flying, I will solo you
Wow.
because I'm gonna teach you how I would teach myself to be safe and that you flying a family member. That's how I'm going to teach you. And I'm going to instill that confidence in you that my instructors didn't do because I had to learn to teach myself even after they tried to because they didn't know how. So
Mm.
now that it incorporates, knowing other people's personalities, seeing how they are, whether they're loud, quiet, shy. The very first thing when they get into a plane, as soon as they get into the plane, they strap their seatbelt on. I look at them and say, "This plane is your bitch."
Hmm.
Reason being because it don't start up until you start it up, right? It don't turn until you turn it. It don't stop until you stop. It don't do nothing until you tell it to do. So the plane is your bitch, and they instantly start laughing, and that's when it's lighting up. Let's start teaching, cause
Yeah.
now they gonna remember when they flying. This plane is my bitch.
Yeah.
They gonna turn it, cause once we in the air, I'm like, all right, you ready to turn the plane? I let go, give it to them. and I say have fun. So we're out in the practice area, and they're just flying. They're just getting to know the plane, and I'm like, see, it does everything you tell it to do. You tell it to do it, you kick your feet, it's gonna go, it's gonna like yaw left and right. You turn, it's gonna roll. You pull up, it's gonna go up. You push down, it's gonna go down. And that's how they get comfortable. And that's half the battle. Once you're creating comfort in that plane. And as an instructor, you're taught to see emergencies when things are gonna go bad. So let them have fun. If you see it going bad, guess what? You can stop it. You stop it. You stop it smoothly, quietly. Hey, I have controls. And they're going to let go and you fix it.
Mm.
But let them get comfortable. Let them see that the plane is their bitch and they can do what they want to do. So, and that's what I learned here. And it's a lot of stuff.
Now, you being on the trainer side of it, did you go through any struggles or issues with those below? Because you went through it with you being below and some above you, but now that you're above, did you go through it on the opposite end of it?
Now, because now I seen what they were doing wrong. I seen what type of different personalities that an instructor doesn't shouldn't have. You know, I'm not perfect. No one's perfect, but you can still adjust to remember those people still the customer. Those people, their life is in your hands. You got to show them that you're confident, you're responsible, and you know what you're talking about. This is the one thing I tell pilots. I don't care if you've been flying for 50 years. If you walk up to me and tell me you know everything, I'm not gonna trust you.
Mm.
I'm not. Why? Why should I trust you? Because yesterday they just changed the rule. Do you know about that? I don't. I don't know about it, but we can read it together. So if you telling me you know everything, I don't need to trust you. I'm gonna keep an eye out on you. I'm not gonna disrespect you,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna keep an eye out for everything that you do. It's just like in your industry, you ask someone about a camera. Yeah, did you see this one? They're like, oh, I know everything about it. It just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
see this feature? I'll learn how to use it. Oh, so you don't know how. That's all you had to
Mm-hmm.
say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also one of our biggest problems in our culture too. Everybody wants to think they know everything.
Yeah.
All you got to do is say, I don't know. Show me. And guess what that person going to do? They going to show you.
Mm-hmm.
and that's our biggest problem.
Yeah. I do. I have a rule of thumb for myself that in any situation, especially when I'm on set or I'm working with new people who don't know me, I let them tell. I let them. I even let, and minus being disrespectful, I let them talk to me like I don't know anything. Right? I let them, like if they want to tell me how to do something on the camera, I just okay. I might know everything that I think I know about it, but I let them tell me because I always feel like there's just going to be something that I don't know
Yep.
that they're going to tell me about it. And 9 times out of 10 that happens. And I end up learning something for real.
Yeah.
So I totally get what you're saying. But there is people out there who just totally just don't want to hear nothing. They want to be the top dog
Yep.
all the time. Okay. So with all of that, you part of your want before was to get your degrees and all of that stuff, but an underlining um of that was to prove those guys wrong, right? Like
Yeah.
to show them like, no, I could, even though they may not even know what they might know what you've, become and all your things that you've accomplished with getting your degrees and things like that. They may or may not know. But for you, I'm sure somewhere inside of you was like, no, I need to show these guys that, nah, I'm way better than what they think.
So the people that watch it, Johnny Childers and Jack Chan on Facebook, let them know.
Yeah.
I do want to see them in the airport. I do want to see them in the airport. I want them to fly on my plane. I do want them to
I'm
fly on
sure
my
it'll
plane.
happen one day. I'm
Cause,
sure it'll happen
Cause
one
I'm gonna thank
day.
them. I'm gonna
Yeah,
thank them
yeah,
in the
yeah,
nicest
yeah,
way possible.
yeah,
You know, kill them with kindness.
yeah,
That's what I'm gonna do. So they can just feel extremely stupid.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So now, after having all your accomplishments, coming down to Florida, working, I'm sure in your personal life, good or bad, you've been able to still move on and do your thing. Did that want that you originally had, like to prove them wrong? At some point, did that go away? Like, I don't care about that no more.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Mhm.
Because you just can't keep harping over it. But I am the type of person that if you do something, I'm gonna remember it. But I'm not gonna sweat it every day,
Mm-hmm.
every month, every year. But it's gonna be in the back of my head that if they pop up or they name pop up, I'm gonna remember. I'm like, yeah, this is what you did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got you. I
But you're
got
not
you.
going out of your way to try to prove anything no more
Absolutely
to
not.
yeah, yeah.
Nah, it's no reason to. Because I know that I'm in a happy position. I work for everything that I got, everything that I did, the impact that I made on kids, other adults too. And they can't take that away. Nobody can take it away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody can take it away. And I can only keep going from this point.
Now, did you go through any um like has there been any trials, tribulations, because you're in a place now. I think you're in a comfortable space where I'm sure there's more room to grow.
Content.
But if you wanted to cruise here for a while, you
Yeah.
could. With that, is there any? Because sometimes when you get content and you're in a cruising place, you open yourself up to other things happening. I don't know if it's relationships, if it's friendships, if it's even at work. Things. Has there been any of that happening with you? Have you experienced anything like that?
Uh, yeah. It's that's another reason why I started boat mechanic school.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, you know what? But it was also a smart decision too, because anything can happen with flying. Anything can happen with flying, and I can't fly anymore. So now the question is, with my status in life of everything I do, what can I do to sustain that or equalize it? So I got to find something else. So I'm having a backup plan, having that to open up a business. That's something that I did to keep myself busy. But did I have to do it? No.
Mm-hmm.
Was I content? Yeah. I was focusing on a lot with helping my brothers create generational wealth. Um, my mom passed 2024.
Oh man,
Yeah. So in April, so that's coming up.
my condolences.
Thank you. But yeah.
Okay. So that's part of your trials and tribulations right there. Your
Hmm.
mother passing, and of course her being um if not the reason, a major reason for you getting into this. And now she's no longer there to I know that must have been
Yeah, and remember she was the first gate agent for JetBlue.
for JetBlue,
So
yeah.
every time I go to work, my mom or either somebody that hasn't seen me, how's your mom? Or I see her favorite airplane.
Mm,
It's when I see her plane, I'm like, what's up, mom? That's it. So,
yeah.
but other than that, that's your mom. That's a different story.
Now, how long after you started working for JetBlue did she continue to work for JetBlue?
Till COVID.
Okay.
Yeah. And when COVID happened, they closed Oakland base, and she was like, "I'm just retiring." Cause she already did
Mm-hmm.
her 20,
Mm-hmm.
so she was like, "Yeah, I'm retiring." But I guess when you're moving that much and you're at an old age and you just stop everything, I think that's what assisted her because she wasn't going to the airport, waking up at 5 in the morning, driving to the airport, walking
Mm-hmm.
to the bus, walking through the terminals, walking up and down the gates, helping bags. She wasn't doing any of that anymore. So it just goes from 100% to
Just chilling.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she didn't really have any hobbies. It was just her working hard for us, and making sure she sustained everything.
So how did you work through it? How did you get through dealing with her passing and still continuing what you were doing?
It was tough because a mom is your mom. No one can ever replace her. No one can ever take away that love. No one can do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just me just carrying on like what my mom want me to do. She's already super proud of me, and you see through the video she couldn't stop smiling, and that can't no one can ever take that away. That she was bragging about her son. He's a pilot here. You met my son yet? All the
Mm.
other pilots know about my mom and everything. So the only thing to do is just keep on pushing, talking to my brothers. It's okay to think about it, and you'll never. I think that I'll never stop thinking about it. It's my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just you just gotta live with it. It's something you just gotta figure out how you're gonna cope with it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that can be considered like a low point in your
Yeah.
life. Like, and did it affect you at work?
Now that's the thing too, man. I was talking with Ozzy about the it factor. You know, my job is really not one where we can mess up.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have any off days. I'm not allowed to. If I have an off day and the plane crashes.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, I hate it, but I don't hate it. But pilots are the only, I wouldn't say only, pilot pilots can't have a bad day.
Mm.
We can't, because when we have a bad day, we end up on CNN,
Mm-hmm.
and that means something bad happened.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be perfect.
Mm.
I'm not allowed to come in there and mess up. I'm not allowed to come in there tipsy. I'm not allowed to come in there drunk. I'm not allowed to come in there sad, mental problems. I got to come in to work perfect. I got to do my job perfect because there's 200 people behind me expect me to be perfect every single time. Nothing I can do about that. But the only thing is, once that cockpit door closes, I don't think about nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember that they're back there because it sounds selfish, but it's not if you think about it. If I don't survive, do they survive?
You're the first to go down. Yeah. Yeah.
So therefore, I have to fly safely so that I can land safely so that they can land safely.
Mm-hmm.
It's not selfish, but it's realistic. I want to get there safely. I want to be able to go home. I want to be able to go eat my favorite food, get a lobster roll. I want to do that, you know?
Now, did any of your motivation kind of go away or change after your mom's passing, after going through that whole time? Just in life in general. I mean, I know majority of your life and your life's purpose is, for the most part, being a great pilot and accomplishing your goals. But did some of that shift? Like, did some of that
Nah, I wouldn't
change?
say it all because, like I said, remember, we got to be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, my mom is extremely proud. My dad, I gained to be his best friend now.
Mm.
Dude calls me like 20 times a day. And I usually don't go around telling people that I'm a pilot. Usually other people that I'm with say, "Oh, he's a pilot," because I like you. I like sitting here just listening. I like to listen to people, talk to people, get to know them. You know. Then they be like, "Oh shit, you're a pilot?" Like, yeah. Why you didn't say anything? Nah, cause I'm a normal person. I'm a chill dude from Oakland. I'm just like everybody else.
Yeah.
Like there's so much stuff, and no, it's just normal. It's just you gotta treat it that way. I gotta. I love it. I love the industry. Like I said, it's a hobby. I get to go play with a multi-million-dollar video game for 3 or 4 hours at a day and get
Wow.
paid to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned that you got into, what is it, boat mechanic?
Yeah.
So would you consider that just you, because you've accomplished a lot in the aviation world?
Yeah.
Um, would you say like you just at a place, you got into that because you were at a place where you feel like you do need something else to, like you still have a lot in you to do, like you feel like you're not at your fullest potential with aviation, so you're looking for something else to do?
No, I would say that the reason I did it is because I had a boat. And remember, I'm mechanically inclined because I used to work on jets and helicopters in the
Mm-hmm,
Navy.
mm-hmm.
And I changed out from a carburetor engine to a fuel injected engine. And I changed that on my boat. And I'm like, the people that I was trying to find to help me out here in Miami, if you don't speak Spanish, it's going to be hard. They're going to be overcharging you. And I was looking around at all the black people that got boats, all the black people that got jet skis. And I'm like, where's the black people that fix those things at?
Mm.
Because remember, the biggest way that black businesses and other people works is word of mouth through another black person. Hey, I got this. Go to this person, and that's it. We can text message you, and it's done. You need it, you go to that person, and that's it. So I'm like, you know what? I should get into that industry. I've been putting it off for a while, and I finally got the time now because I was content and relaxed. And I was like, let me go to boat mechanic school, and I want to open up a shop and run it like the military.
Mm. Now, is that up and running? How's that? Where are you at
Not
with
yet,
it
because
now?
I don't finish school until June.
Mhm.
Yeah. So once I finish school in June, then I say by the end of the year, I should have it running.
Nice. And it's so. But what's your full plan with that? Is it fixing all kinds of boats, or certain specific types of boats, or just specific parts of a boat? Like,
So I wanted to angle it all towards boat engines. That's it.
mhm.
So it's gonna be all engines: Suzuki, Honda, Mercury, Optimax. And what I want to do is, well, I'm off 18 days a month. Other than that, I'm on schedule. I'm on call. So I really maybe work 1 day a month where I
Mhm.
actually got to go fly a plane. So
And you're like guaranteed what? Is there any guarantees for the month?
yeah. So
Okay.
we have 75 hours is guaranteed for the month.
Okay.
So no matter what, even if I fly 2 hours, I still get paid that guarantee.
Hmm.
So since I got all this off time, then I'm like, you know what? What else I can do to, help myself out for the future to create the generational wealth for myself and for my kids or whenever I have them. So I was like, you know what? I'm good with this boat stuff. I don't really want to work on airplanes. I can, but I want to do something else because I've been, you're out in Miami, you see all these yachts, all these speed boats, and you're like, where
Hmm.
did these people
Hmm.
get this money from?
Hmm.
So of course, being a pilot, you can talk to these people that have these mega yachts and have those midnight express boats and start to get to know them and then be like, what? You're a mechanic? You work on this? Yeah, I do. I have a shop. So now I'm getting into that circle of the elite money and talking to them and driving their boats and fixing their boats and stuff. And I have a master mechanic, and all I do is just check his work. So basically, he's running a shop, and I'm just the owner. I
Hmm.
come in and work when I want to, check his work, and that's it. So that's how I want to run it. So basically,
So these are your future plans and how you're
hmm
gonna do it. Okay. So I mean, for the rest of these questions, it feels like these are all future questions. Like if I were to ask you, because you just said what you just said is like a good turning point. Like, okay, cool, you finally got your shop and you got that going, and then you already have the plans of how you're going to run your business. So the rest of these questions, as I asked them to you, you I guess you could just answer them in the future. Like, how would you like to see these things
yeah,
happen, right? As a every movie has a climax, right? Like where the big thing, the big fight scene, the big thing that happens. Um, for you and what you in your world, it sounds like you going back to school to learn something else to then get your degree, right? Not like a fight scene, but it's still a fight
yeah.
because now you have to put what you know not aside, but kind of like and then go into this other space. Um, how is that feeling for you of going to school again, working on another degree, and having another plan of attack?
It was tough because I went from being a teacher to the student,
Mm.
and like we talked about, I don't like to go in there thinking that I know everything. I like to be quiet and like to watch. And I guess the student advisor told the teacher that I'm a pilot because I didn't want nobody to know. I want to come in there incognito. So so he finds out I'm a pilot and he started treating me as if I should know everything and I should be smarter than everybody. And I remember one time I asked him about the second test that we took, and I was like, I asked him about the question on there, and he was like, "So you're trying to tell me the answer? Like you know it all?" And I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Time out." I was like, "I'm here to learn. I don't know nothing. I'm not gonna act like it." And this is from everybody. I don't know nothing about this. I'm starting from ground zero. Then I guess that's when he's seen it that I don't want to be the smartest person or act like the smartest person. I want to like I know nothing.
Hmm.
Every single tool and everything. So that was I think the hardest part because I think the teacher had to only evolve from that too, as well as me enforcing it to myself and to him that I'm the student. I'm not no instructor. If you want me to instruct, come to my world. Cause he would say these things. A great instructor was in class today. Dude is ridiculous. He was like, man, if I become your student at the aviation, you just gonna be yelling at me and making sure I do everything. You gonna make me do everything over. I was like, nah. I'm like, it'll be good. You'll like it.
Yeah.
So it's just the different perceptions that people get all the time.
He expected you to be like what he thought you might be.
Yep.
But you didn't correct that, which was great on your part to kind of shut that down and be like, no. You know?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Because I felt, that's just what to do. That's where I'm at.
And how has it been since you've had to do that?
It's been cool learning, and he doesn't grade me as hard anymore.
Nice. If we're at the end of your story, not end of life, but end of this story, how do you see it all coming together? What would be the end of your movie? What would be your final scene of all of the things that you're doing in life, you've been doing, where you want to go? How do you see your life? How do you see your life movie ending?
Maybe flying once a month, living on an island as my main residence, and on the loudspeaker, Kanye West is playing "Wait Till I Get My Money Right." Yeah.
Nice. Not married, kids.
Yeah, of course they had a wife there, kids, but they living on the island with me, chilling. That's it.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I mean, I think you have a pretty interesting story. Your experiences and me getting to know you a little bit more, especially in this moment, I could see why you've accomplished what you've accomplished, because you seem like a very determined person, especially with the military background. And I have family members in the military, but I can't say that everyone that I've ever met in the military mentally seems sharp and can like move out of that and like really accomplish some things. But you seem to be one of those people who that was just a stepping stone. It wasn't life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have bigger dreams, you have bigger goals, and you're able to then still be sharp even after so many years of doing it, right? Because you've been in it,
I got out 2013.
2013, yeah. So it's like 13 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time, and you don't look like life has taken a toll. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
You look like you got a lot more life to live. So that's great. Yeah, man. I really appreciate you doing this. I really appreciate you coming and sharing your story. I wish I could get more out of that Cambodia story. Sounds like
if you do it, I'll let you write the movie for it.
Let's do it.
Because once you hear that full story, you're gonna be like, "This is insane."
It sounds like a mix of like the Hangover meets Tropic Thunder or something.
but the funny thing is, we was completely sober
the whole time
when it happened. The incident, yep. Completely sober, so we knew what was going on the whole time.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice. Well, it happened for a reason. It sounds like good reasons.
Yeah.
I was about to say Dominique. Dominique. What is it? How you say
Dominick.
Dominick.
Yeah.
Golly, why couldn't I even figure that?
Everybody mess it up, man.
Dominique, I appreciate you coming by, man. This was fun. I enjoy hearing about your story. Anybody want to know more about Dominick? I'm gonna have a link in the bottom to your TikTok, because he has this great video of him and his mom, and that whole thing. And yeah, man, we'll do it again.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. You're my second episode, by the way.
Oh, snap.
So if you look back there, I got one picture. So your picture's going right above that one right there.
I do. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem, man. Thank you.
All right.